Okay, can you hear my voice? And I have something playing in the background that I want to play, but it may be quiet. There's sound. Is there sound and vision? I will sit right down waiting for the gift of sound and vision. It's just on the YouTube streaming studio. It just has a spinning wheel. It says connect streaming software to go live. Victor's will. So, screw that. What if I just close YouTube like that?
You have a very good heart, and you are interested in other human beings. You make people feel at ease, and you're very intelligent, and you have a...
This is ridiculous. Last night I was drinking tea, caffeine. Let's see how different the inks are tonight. Yeah, I hate streaming and going like, oh, I'm reinventing the wheel every time. It's just not that old yet, but then maybe I am. Maybe this is age appropriate. Pretty much most of all using... Okay, anyway, I gotta get back. Oh, what I was saying is that's because I had lettering right here. I had like a lettering here, so the drawing wasn't really complete there in my blue line. I'm like, what am I doing here? It was because I have some lettering there. So I'm kind of afraid to go in. I almost think I should white out some of this instead of adding to this. Maybe I'll do a little of both. Not real stoked. Not really stoked on my inking work here, but hopefully my groundwork is strong enough and this is reduced. It will look okay, but I think I would do full digital if I didn't have the desire to have a... I mean, I've sold very few original pages, so it is just, I would say, oh, I need something to sell, but no one piece sells, but who's buying? So it's really just my desire to have more physical pieces, so I can seem more like a real artist, you know. Excuse me. Oh, buy another phone. Yeah, well, actually, I have another phone. I have an iPhone 8. It has to remain plugged in, and it's on Wi-Fi, so why not? But then I need to get the image off of my computer. Okay, so what this is Sewer Boyz, Ink and Drink Long Beach comic book remix project called Sewer Boyz 2, where we've taken in a giant size X comic, we'll say, and remixing it, reinterpreting pages, multiple artists doing it in their own style, changing it just about anything about it, the pages, to create something new and extended. Not just it's not like a cover band, it's not like a tribute band, it's like someone taking all those things and throwing them in a blender and creating something new with them. Although some of the pages are some of the artist pages can be as faithful as they want to the original. It's open to everyone's creative approach to how they want to do it. I think this tips. I think this is getting dried up. So, and I'm redoing of that iconic key issue that we're reinterpreting. This would be page 23 if you have one at home, if you know the thing I'm talking about, you can look it up. And in my pencils, pencils were still kind of experimental. So like some of these weed vine living tendrils, they have different rendering styles on it. Like this one has this kind of segmented, has a lot of shadows, almost could be shiny segments. This one's just kind of more rooty, branchy, knotty. Ooh, look at this weird. Altered. Look at this. I look like Altered States right now. Oh, okay. For a second there. Wow, that was cool. Not really. And there's all shadow. You know. So I kind of got to get cohesive. So I've already started. Kind of doing this one like this like this, so something like that. Dropping the ball here. I'm back too. Glad you're back. I'm hearing rain. Sounds like rain out there. Do I effed up this thumb? This thumb's all weird looking. It sounds like rain out there, and I gotta admit, I didn't wash my car since it was covered in ash from all the fires. I didn't get to a point where I washed my car, washed all this stuff. Now it's finally rain. All right, Tom's playing Shadow Self by Kevin Gilbert, and that's the one I would have picked from this album. Great Minds. Sounds like a different mix than I have, though. Yeah, this sounds totally different than the version I have. Different drums. Anyway, yeah, I'm listening to my prog show, The Gagley Archives. If you can't hear it, that's okay. I don't want to get muted. Wow, this hand is really not good, bro. Yeah, it says the stream 40 or 46 minutes. I whited out like two little things. I didn't, but yeah, it's mostly just me. That was mostly me farting around, trying to figure out dumb stuff. But I didn't mean to start streaming before everything was ready. It just, what am I, Dick Clark? Dude, New Year's Eve was like hella way back. I didn't go take a dump, if that's what you mean. I probably will have to soon. Bro, I dropped my big ball. I've dropped my big balls in like 1983, dude. When you were streaming, I was trying to say in your comments that I know that bit about U2 and Snuggles and our long distance dedication, from the Negative Land album U2 or EP called U2. The letter U and the numeral 2. That's where I first heard those rant and raves, and I recommend that EP's Negative Land. There's no E in Negative Land. One word. The way they present that, it's like, you've heard those tapes. Theirs is like they're doing like a remix of it with some other stuff. All the snuggles and the letter U and the numeral 2. So I put a link to it, but I don't know if Erwin, if you never listened to that one, I recommend. It's the way Negative Lamb presents it in a mix with other things. Like it's really great. It's my favorite part of the song. Genius. Kevin Gilbert. He died of the guy who did that song. He probably played all the instruments and sang all the parts except the drums, maybe. Died of autoerotic asphyxiation. And no, it wasn't in excess. It's Kevin Gilbert.
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we have a problem. 1995. Now, there's not many people left in this building, and they've all gone home. And there it is. Games are now 3-0 in favor of the Flyers as they walk right into Madison Square Garden and absolutely devastated.
To fake this. Mess that up. Gotta fake it.
To demonstrate for you the outdoor version of the Macarena. Would you like to see it again? The year was 1995. Hi, this is Dave Kurtzer, and you're listening to the Gackley Archives.
Okay, let's zoom back in here. Isn't there? Yeah, okay. Whoa. Any impression? I do. I think they just come out, right? Yeah, I like to do voices and dialects. And I remember being on the voice chat and doing some, I like doing some random kind of mishmash of East Coast, accents. And I think I did one, and it wasn't even supposed to be anyone particular. It wasn't, and like in the voice chat, and someone was like, just like jumped on it like I was anti-Semitic or something. I'm like, fuck, horse shit. Because I probably said Carvel, New York, the Big Apple. But I might have, maybe, I don't know, someone read some kind of, I don't know, specific. I don't give a shit.
It's over. She says it softly.
But I was gonna say something about what. Now I can't. Like the times where I did voice, and you're like, that sounds like Neil. Oh shit. I personally don't consider it me making fun of Neil or doing voices of people. I don't really consider, oh, I'm trying to belittle that person or make fun of them, or just, I just tend to try to, if there's some voice, the way someone talks, sometimes I'm compelled to like say it, and, or not, can't really do it that well. But yeah, I should have never done that voice in his presence, because I realize, God, I swore that's not on camera, is it? Okay, that's gross. But I think when you do an impression of someone, do their voice, even if you're doing it out of love, or just or not out of love, but you know what I mean, like you're poking fun and it's someone that you love, it's not someone you're trying to belittle or be spiteful, or I still think that it comes off as offensive. I was kind of learning that at that time. Call the Neil voice that I heard, that you heard. I was thinking about this a lot, and I was like, I feel like there's certain voices, and that's fine. That's it's your prerogative. It's your pierogi. Some voices follow you around, and they're like an entity in themselves, like a yokai, or not a shinigami, but like a yokai that people can't see is floating around above your shoulder. And I'm not saying you actually hallucinate, or I'm not saying there's actually beings. It's just a metaphor. And they'll have a voice that they'll speak in phrases, and then sometimes you'll hear in life you overhear people, or you have memories, or you knew people, and sometimes their phrases, you tend to do their voice, and then you exaggerate, and it gets absorbed into this eternal being that floats above your shoulder, just through time, and it goes around absorbing things from different people. Because when the voice you think is just purely Neil, and I'll hear it in my head, and it embodies other voices and people and phrases that from over the years, and they all absorb into this kind of this like being. Because I with my friend Eric, I used to always we used to always do this kind of these East Coast kind of accents, and they would all blend together, and sometimes it would basically be Curly from the Three Stooges, but then some of it would be something his dad said, because his dad kind of has a Boston accent, and we repeat something his dad said and then exaggerate it, and then it almost becomes Curly Joe from the Three Stooges voice. Now that voice is just like a being of its own, and it's gonna be. And then we'd see the Carvel ice cream commercials. Carvel, the kids love Cookie Puss. Carvel ice cream, whatever. And then we like imitate that and just really mutate it and exaggerate it. And then we grew up watching Speed Racer, and all the bad guys always had this East Coast accent. Come on, boss! We would go into this voice, and it would encompass like the Carvel commercials, and then bad guys from Speed, till it became this it's like entity of its own. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but so I'll find myself doing what we call the Neil voice throughout the day for certain things, but I kind of feel like there's a higher demon at work than just me like making fun of Neil or something. But I think I've said it before. Like if I was doing an indie movie, if I was casting for a independent film or something, and I needed some, I would find a way to write Neil in as a character in there somewhere. Not the main actor, but someone they would encounter who would have a, you know, whether he was like a clerk at a counter or someone that someone had to make contact with, and just let him improvise his, give him a little character direction, and let him improvise. Like, it would just seem like he'd be a great character that would add to, you know what I mean? Like, he would be hilarious. Like, I feel like he could do improv acting, you know, comedic.
Here's an interesting fact. On average, nearly 95% of all the titles we feature every
Of course, I haven't looked up his What's up, fool? What's up, fool?
Including progressive rock,
Kung Fu?
fusion, along with the best stoner, space and psychedelic sound selections from all corners of the earth. Whether it's a brand new release, an obscure
Jason Lego in the house.
finally digitally seeing the light of day, or a limited edition box set,
So,
you'll find everything you need at the Laser's Edge at lasercd.com. Great service, and being on top of all the new
anyone watching this later,
the Laser's Edge is also the home
like putting this on is something to like go to sleep to.
sensory records and full electric sound. They also specialize in DVDs.
Got a couple
music,
guys in chat who are working on the same comic remix project that I'm working on right now, in their very different and unique styles of their own.
Open your browser and type in lasercd.com. The Laser's Edge, your true progressive rock superstore. Proudly endorsed by the
And we're getting deep into the the first round deadlines to turn in page art for all these artists to turn in their artwork. So I'm seeing some amazing stuff come in. For real though. But thank you. I'm not real happy with my acoustic. I call it acoustic inking. Digital, there's analog, and then there's acoustic. This is more like analog. Acoustic would be, I would call it acoustic if I had no digital pencils, if I purely penciled and inked on the board. But I didn't. Not really had, but I want to have physical pieces of artwork in the portfolio. I don't have enough. If I die tomorrow, I don't have enough physical artwork. And then I look back in my photo, some of my photo archives. You know who's acoustic? Well, if you're making an inside reference, that I was going to. There's one guy who his artwork wasn't that good, but at least it's traditional. It's not digital, fake. But it wasn't that good. But I know there's some guys on this book in this comic remix project that are doing traditional, no digital, kind of letting me deep. I don't think that's how it goes. Oh, here's an example. Doesn't matter how you feel about Andrew Dice Clay as a comedian, but he has a voice when he comments on a guy being wimpy. He goes into this voice, and it sounds like Woody Allen, but it's not Woody Allen. It's like he probably started from doing a Woody Allen voice, but it's his voice for like someone like a wimpy guy voice, and it's super mutated to where it's no longer, maybe it has its roots in like a Woody Allen thing, but it's embodiment that he has in his head, and that he's added to with phrases he's heard around and people that he's fed this kind of demon these phrases and further voice mutations. Yeah, not the hickory dickory dock guy. I just mean the yeah. When he talks about other dudes being like wussies. Remember the wussies? Don't be a wuss. And I laid the mouse. Oh my god, you guys. I don't hate him. I don't love him either. But I'm definitely not. He's. Whew. I don't care if he's offensive or misogynist. I don't care. He's a comedian. But yeah. Oh! What's the deeply? Deeply. I can hear you saying the word deeply. Exactly how you pronounce it. And see, you do a voice. The way I know that you're saying deeply if you're saying it out loud. It's a slight accent of some kind, but difficult to place. And it's some voice you got from somewhere, and probably multiple places. And it's in your head, and you find yourself saying different phrases in that kind of voice style accent.
2004.
And it had an origin somewhere with somebody, but you find yourself doing that voice without even thinking about the original source. Like me with what we're calling the Neil voice. I can't do deeply. I can't do it. I can hear you clearly saying deeply, because I watch enough hours. I watch enough hours of your streaming, dude. Like hours of streaming. So I know you have. There's voices that you go to. That's what I'm talking about. There's these voices. They no longer belong to the person that maybe you heard it from first. They become these timeless entities that we feed new phrases, new exaggerations. What am I obsessed with? Am I perseverating on a topic for too long? Happens. Well, you guys are almost like the producers of this podcast right now. It's not a podcast. What it live stream? Because you can get me to change the subject. I don't have anything to say about what action figures are coming, or He-Man and Transformers. I'll draw a blank. But oh, I got my Giger book. Ooh, an abscess. I'm obsessed with watching your streams. I know I'm one of your top 3. Yeah, when you're streaming and it's like, oh, there's one viewer. Oh, it's Bob. Fuck, someone please. God, someone please fucking tune in. I got my Giger book. My mom got it for me for Christmas, and then it never arrived, and we thought, she thought maybe I don't know, something went wrong, which they should have notified her. They should have said, we're out of stock. We got your order. We're waiting to restock. We'll keep you posted. They just didn't really do that until she contacted them later. But anyway, it finally arrived. I got the giant, huge, biblical Giger book. You can't. You have to set it on. I mean, it is truly a coffee table book, because if you set it on your lap, you'll cut off circulation like real quick. I have a Jack Kirby book, kind of the same dimensions and thickness, and it's like you need one of those. What do you call it? It's not a podium, but specific angled table with a little lip on it that you can. And then I dug out my collection of Will Eisner's The Spirit magazines, an assortment of kitchen sink and Warren magazine, like reprints of the old Will Eisner Spirit stuff. Well, I'll confess right now, it's, or if I do the pickle detective pickle PI, because at first I was thinking Miller, Sin City, Stark, Black and White, Rain on the trench coat. Yeah, Irwin and Brunson kind of back and forth with that, and I was like, okay, man, let's see if I can do kind of Eisner, kind of a Spirit inspired, because there's a lot of Rain and a lot of noir and rain soaked stuff, and there's a little designy stuff. Oh, Pixley. Well, hello. Hello. It's my pretty Pixley. Come here. Get over here. Get over here. Oh, I got a guest. My guest is here. My guest. Hello. Look at this big fat Maine Coon. Okay. Oh, dear. Sweet Pixley. This is my cat. Her name is Tigra. The light shining in her eyes. But I intimately know her as Pigsley Adams. Okay, I'm going to put you back down. Big foofy. Puss. Okay, puss. Stories of band days. Jeez. I don't know. I think I remember telling one on one of my fans here in the chat said, tell us, regale us stories of your glorious band days. No, just kidding. Tell us stories of your band days. Yeah, I remember telling one on the voice chat, and everyone was like, dude, your friends are fucking assholes, dude. No, everyone was kind of, it had a kind of, was a kind of a mortified vibe. So, like, yeah, I can think of some, but I mean, I'm pretty chill. So it was more like the things I was found myself in, you know, other people doing kind of crazy stuff, and somehow I'm there, but I wasn't the one doing the crazy stuff. But I gotta pee really bad. And you guys have a things right in my face. Either of you have a Gatorade bottle or perhaps a Mickey's Big Mouth bottle that I can pee in? Otherwise, okay, I gotta be right back. Okay, by the way, when I say I'm gonna be right back, ooh, the rain's coming down now. This picture I put here is drawn by T.Wei. You may recognize it from Ink and Drink. Okay, this is my camera is now a vulture chewing on my pecs while I'm crucified on the tree of woe. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go pee. So T.Wei's portrait is gonna take my place right now. Oh shit! What happened while I was gone? What the hell happened? Did you guys do while I was gone? No, I'm talking to my legions of fans in the chat here. You clipped my. That's your Arnold impression. Rain coming down deeply. Dude, it barely rained here. Jason, I don't know where you are. What? You probably told me before. I don't know where you live. What area? I don't want to dox you on my to all the legions of fans here, but you probably told me where you live. You know, like, forgive me if I. There seems to be not a whole lot of Ink and Drink Long Beach. Not a lot of people in the group actually live in Long Beach, proper, including myself. Okay, see, not deeply even, not deeply even at all. Clip the Arnold. Oh God, where would I? Okay, in text on Discord. Is that Lasagna Cat? One lives in up. I mean, I did my what Bruce Springsteen would call it, the glory days. my parents were born and raised in Long Beach. My grandparents lived in Long Beach, settled in Long Beach. Both my parents grew up in Long Beach. My mom went to Wilson, and my dad went to Poly, and then he went to Cal State Long Beach, which I did later. And then he got a job. He's as an engineer. Got a job at Shell Oil in Houston, so that's why they relocated just before I was born. So that's why I end up in Houston. So no, I don't have some deep Southern roots or whatever. And then I moved back to Long Beach. My parents got divorced, and when I turned 18, my mom to move back to Long Beach, and I had to move with her because, yeah, I was 18, but I wasn't ready to wipe my own ass. I mean, kidding me? 18? And I went to Cal State. That's where I met, my guys, and did my first comic in Long Beach, and went to Cal State, got it forever, and then finally got out of there with an illustration degree, and then played in the kind of Long Beach music scene. So Long Beach that's my Long Beach deep attachment. So ink and drink, if I was, rather than joining a group in downtown LA or Hollywood or something, drink and draw kind of club, Long Beach made the most sense. Even though I didn't know any of you guys, I just showed up and, hey, I'm Bob. No one's here to recommend me and say, hey, well, this is Bob. Everybody, he's cool. No, it's pretty awkward, but anyway. So Lasagna Cat. That Lasagna Cat was my son. Yeah, deep distant cousin to Pizza Rat. That's what I'm hearing when you say, "Is that Lasagna Cat?" Lasagna Cat is my son dropping in. But yeah, when I hear you say Lasagna Cat, I hear you say, I'm hearing, do you remember Pizza Rat? I would have to have three ears because I got to hear my prog show here and myself yap. Look, I haven't drawn and been on here. I haven't drawn shit. It's like I've been on here an hour and a half. So if you guys are still there, yeah, one of the sub themes of tonight's stream is last night I was drinking the liquid death tea for the caffeine because I was sleepy, and then tonight this is my go-to favorite thing ever. Let's see how. So the top half, we're going to compare the top half of inking of this page to the bottom half and see carbonated, lightly carbonated black tea versus Belgian style golden. Oh, this tip! Look how blurry this tip is now. I need to change it to a new pen. Look how blurry. How can I ink with it? It's so blurry. I don't think I've drawn enough to wear out this tip. But when it does little dry brushy things, then I think I'm just abusing it, not holding it right, because it can't be worn out that quickly. I'm drawn enough with it. I think it's just my angle, but I don't know. Maybe this is wearing out. I'm kind of dreading coloring this. That looks good. I'm gonna assume you're talking about this, my wonderful inking work here. These are too samey. This, I hate when I do that. This and this, there shouldn't be that two similar objects right next to each other.
From the editors of Sky and Telescope online magazine at skyandtelescope.org, it's time for your weekly installment of the Stargazer's Handbook, your guide to all the beautiful celestial events in the skies this coming week. Orion is now high in the southeast right after dark. He stands highest in upright due south around 9 p.m. Orion is the biggest of the 88 constellations, but his main pattern is surprisingly small compared to some of his dimmer neighbors. The biggest of these is Eridanus, the river to its west.
Hey, yo. If you guys are here still, I'm listening to my prog rock radio show that I've listened to for forever on Saturday night, which I don't recommend because most of it is this guy Tom talking, but it's very soothing to me. How well can you hear it? I need to be able to hear it, but I don't want to get muted by YouTube if it recognizes a song from here. Like right now, he's talking about the stars in the sky tonight, as viewed from the Jersey Shore, with the X-Files theme playing in the back. So I'm wondering how well you guys can hear that audio behind me.
Meanwhile, the Big Dipper is creeping up in the north-northeast, tipped up on its head, and spring is coming. The Pleiades and the Hyades.
The Pleiades. I say Pleiades. Okay, well, I'm just afraid if I turn it up, I'm going to get muted. Ideally, I would have it fully audible, and I would, promote his show and all that, but I just don't want to get. I think on Instagram I did it and they muted me.
The Algol double star system should be in mid-eclipse for about 2 hours, Saturday at 7:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In a roundup, Mercury is out of sight, hiding in superior conjunction with the Sun.
But he's just talking right now. Erwin's favorite part of the show.
Then lower in the west-southwest as evening grows later. It sets almost due west nearly 2.5.
This radio show used to be on terrestrial radio for many years. And part of the show, I think, because he broadcast out of a college radio station on New Jersey.
And as darkness deepens, watch for polyps into the view upper left of it.
They might have had to have a certain percentage of the content be educational. That may be why, and because this guy is obsessed with astronomy. I think that's why. And then he only does this online from his home studio now, but I think he just continued having this feature on it because it's because he loves it. It's a comfort food.
Neptune, tough at magnitude 7.9, is passing a few degrees from Venus this week, far in the background. Again,
it's comfort food to me too.
If you love the skies like I do what I do. Check out all the happenings in your
I hate stars. Have the stars come out yet? Oh, there's a voice for you. Identify this one. Have the stars come out yet? Tell me if you can guess who that is. You'll never guess the whole story, but I'm going to tell the story. And it's relevant to the show I'm listening to and everything. Have the stars come out yet? Now you're going to have me go on a couple tangents here because, see, I could combine Jello Biafra. I was doing Jello Biafra in a specific thing where I was 2 feet from him. That's what he said to me. Have the stars come out yet? Exasperated. See, you could feed that phrase and Jello Biafra into the same yokai hopper as Fred Schneider from B-52s. You could throw Fred Schneider, any phrase of his voice, in Jello Biafra, any of his, you throw it, it goes to the same yokai floating up here. And then you're talking about Rip Taylor, and I don't know, we're Rip Torn. There's Rip Torn, who I thought was Rip Taylor. I don't know. I guess it's the guy that throws the glitter. Like, feed that voice in there too. You can mix them all up, and then that's one of those timeless voices that you could, you feed, and it's no longer him. It's no longer Jello. It's no longer Fred Schneider. It's just you know, because I've said phrases that have nothing to do with. There's so many things going through my mind in this subject right now. We'll go back to when you said I hate stars. I heard Jello Biafra saying stars. I went to Progressive Rock Festival called Near Fest, and that's where I met this DJ, Tom Gagliardi, and we were there. And basically, everyone at these festivals, it's not an outdoor festival where everyone's, you know, in mud. It's like, you know, at a theater on a old college, old university campus in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Just a bunch of middle-aged nerds. Everyone's chill. Everyone's nice. They just chill, right? The headlining act was over for Saturday night, and it was Hawkwind, who was a legendary. They invented the genre of music called space rock, and they're not necessarily progressive rock, but they are, you know, famously Lemmy Kilmister was in that band in the early 70s, and then anyway, that's another story. But so at a progressive rock festival, we're walking out, and then there's a line of people waiting for the members of Hawkwind to come out so they can sign their albums and they can say hi to them. You know, it's like there's a signing table waiting, and these guys are old. The guys in Hawkwind, some of them are like, you know, 70 something years old. And Dave Brock, the surviving leader, you know. So they want to chill for a while, and then they're going to come out and do their signing thing, and everyone's the general prog fan is patient and waiting for that because they're not, you know, they're not. It's not a punk show. It's not a metal show where fuck you, you know. Everyone's super respectful of each other and the musicians. So people are waiting in line, but Jello, and then I'm like, that's fucking Jello Biafra right there. Punk icon. Jello Biafra is at the Prague show in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. What the fuck? But I mean, I was a fan of Lard and Dead Kennedys, you know, and I'd seen him. I've seen him lecture at Cal State, Long Beach. Stuff. But he was an asshole. He was standing by some door that led like to like a door that led supposedly to backstage or some side door, and he kept knocking on the door and trying to get someone to let him in to the back to talk to Hawkwind. Like he wouldn't. He's like, I don't have to wait. He didn't say this, but in his mind, I'm thinking, I don't have to wait with these peons. I don't have time for this. And he was so frustrated that they weren't coming out, because he felt that he needed to fucking talk to them first before all these patient fans who had flown here from around the world. You know, I met some dudes from New Zealand. There was like a gay couple dudes, and they had their own like Kiwi Prague shirts that they made. They flew from the other side of the world to see some of these freaking bands, you know. For example, and he was just like, have the stars come out yet? Like he was like bagging on Hawkwind, like they're too much of rock stars to, like they're taking too long to come out. They just played like a big set of like driving freaking space rock. And space rock is like, just look up Hawkwind, you know, early 70s Hawkwind, you know. It's real driving. It's not metal. It's not prog. It's kind of driving, really driving, chugging music. They're elderly dudes up there, you know. And then some lady, like, he kept knocking on the door, and I was like, me and my wife were there, and we didn't have a car. I was like, oh, maybe we can catch a ride with Jello to the after party, you know. But then he was like, he had a really distended belly, well, pretty much like mine, you know, kind of. Um, and he was visibly frustrated. And some lady kind of was like, what, peeked out of the door, like, what do you do? What the hell do you want? He goes, I want to talk to Hawkwind. I'm here. I want to book them on a concert in San Francisco. I need the like, I'm important, you know. He just said some bullshit like he was gonna book them. Like they as if they don't have a tour manager to book them shows, you know. This legendary band, you know, they need Jello Biafra to book them on a show in San Francisco. And she just was like, fuck off, and closed the door on him. And he rolls his eyes and was like, oh, he was so exasperated. And I was like, well, now I don't trust him. I could have befriended Jello Biafra because I'm like, I love that you're here, because my first band was really influenced by King Crimson and the Dead Kennedys. Like, we sent Alternative Tentacles our demo in 1991, you know, and you sent back a form letter, but we appreciated it. We know you sent it probably to all the bands, but we still appreciated receiving that, and we were doing what you advised already, like putting shit out ourselves and all that. You know, I had plenty to talk to him about, make friends with him, but I kind of like observing him there. I was like, well, he's gonna be in a douche compared to just the regular prog fans here. He's being a douche. And like, I'm not sure if I trust him to even give us a ride to the after party at the Comfort Suites. Like, that's where all the bands on that festival stay, at this Comfort Suites hotel, and then the bar there, they have the after party, and my boy Tom here broadcasts a show from there in the bar of that hotel. So I think we somehow got a ride with the keyboard player from Iluvatar, who looks like Howard Stern. But later I saw pictures of Jello online with a Magma shirt and hanging out partying with the guys because Magma headlined on Sunday night. But I did get a bad taste in my mouth for Jello Biafra after that. Have the stars come out yet? Huh? Dude, Dave Brock is like 78. Like, let him take a breath and smoke a fucking joint before he comes out and signs autographs for people for the next hour and a half, you know. I don't even know what band this is right now. The music sounds like Cynic, but the vocals are like real cheesy metal.
Okay, is that working? Yeah, I see something. What were you doing wrong? What were you doing?
I had to switch it out of multi-track.
You're a buffoon.
You're a buffoon. All right. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, go ahead. I am streaming on YouTube. Go ahead, open it. Go. I gotta pee. Anybody have a Gatorade bottle or maybe like a Mickey's Big Mouth? A bottle? No? Okay. Yeah. Be back. Do.
Almost 25 years ago this time.
I don't like to have my belly on here. Oh, wow. G artwork. That's me imitating Erwin playing an audio sample of Daniel Warren Johnson going, G artwork. Cool, man. Good to see you here. I appreciate Erwin Papa. Great artists dropping in the chat. I'm blessed. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag blessed. Jason Lego, Erwin Papa, and now JG Art World. Two poops. What's two poops? Like two scoops of poops in a box of Raisin Bran? Yeah, I blanked everything out because I finally went and got on the phone and posted a story that I'm streaming on YouTube. And now, get ready for the deluge, the legions. You always hear me speaking of the legions of fans. They're out there, man. They're out there. They'll be here soon. You know. And I mean, you can hide yourself in the. Oh God, what's that place? I forgot. I was gonna make a Lord of the Rings reference, and I forgot everything. That means I'm really not a nerd. I couldn't remember the Lord of the Rings. Helm's Deep. Oh shit! Now I'm a nerd. I did remember it. Helm's Deep. You can hide in the Deeping Coombe. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the legions are still going to be here any minute. And those legions are the fans. My fans. Just kidding. Helm's Deep. Someday I'll figure out what this deep business is. I'm slow on all that stuff. So slow on the references. Yeah, I would really rather be doing this all digital and having control. Command Z. I need to use Command Z.
And then they recognize what date is it we're going to think it is when we get to 2000.
I want to book them at a concert, a show in San Francisco. If you just let me backstage to talk to them ahead of the riffraff out here. Wait, I was going to say riffraff out here. It was going to go into the East Coast guy. Let me backstage and talk to him before the riffraff out here. See, transferred to another yokai on the other shoulder. This looks dumb. What I just inked looks dumb. I need to focus more. This specifically looks dumb. This particular, this does no depth. It's all on the same flat plane. It's like how my fingers are now. It's like, hi, when it should be like that. These branches should be like that or something. Instead of, we're all on the same plane. We're like a pressed ferry. You know the pressed ferry book? Come on, that's an art reference. You guys should get. Is it the Dark Crystal guy? Brian Froud, is that his name? I think it was him. He had a book called The Pressed Fairy Book, and it was like a scrapbook where they had like caught fairies out of the air, or they caught fairies and put them in the book and smashed them, and then they write notes around them. Pretty unique art book, or at least at the time it came out. I mean, I don't own it. It's that's kind of a chick art book, but it was cool. Yank. The sound effect underneath this is yank. Yank with an N. Yank. Yeah. Oh wait, see? Yeah, that was Rob Zombie was floating over this shoulder, and the sound effect got absorbed into the camera's over here. It got absorbed into the Rob Zombie yoga. Okay, so I saw, speaking of Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach, Jello in the early 90s, Jello Biafra came to our school and did a talk, did a lecture. Basically, his whole premise was for the legalization of cannabis, or using hemp for practical, like to make paper, this renewable resource to make, paper out of hemp and all that. And it was like, he was like, his point was like, I don't really smoke pot. I don't really want to, I don't want to legalize because I'm not really into that vibe. But he said we used to make all these products out of hemp, and then the Dow, was like the logging companies and this and that put, vilified it because it was too competitive with the logging industry. Just all this stuff about some big long thing about legalizing marijuana, but mainly for growing hemp for various purposes, not aside from smoking. And he made a 2-hour case for it. But one of his points was the propaganda. And I'm not saying I agree with him or disagree with him or verifying anything he said was true or false. I was just there, and part of the propaganda against, to make cannabis illegal, calling it marijuana instead of cannabis somehow diminished it a bit. And then it was like he said the effects of at first they tried to say, oh, it makes people into raving violent lunatics, and then soon that was disproven, so they had to go the other way, like, oh really, it makes people lazy. But one of the things is it says one of the problems with people start smoking this demon weed marijuana, they might start listening to jazz. So implying that how insane that was, because we're in a time of like hardcore punk and death metal and all these other forms of music that mothers are supposed to be, conservatives are warning mothers about. And he's like, they'll start listening to jazz, which of course has its racial connotations, and that was part of the propaganda. But just so then forever on, I'd be saying, is this jazz? And in my friend's band, they had some thing on their album and they overdubbed their voices saying just stupid stuff over the instrumental they did. And my friend Marco, the bass player, he's like, is this jazz? Like over, because they did some kind of Mr. Bungle music where it skipped from style to style, and then he was like, this is jazz. So jazz. So there's jazz. Is this jazz? But then it also became jizz. And I had another friend's band that had he played in this dumb joke band, and all their songs were supposed to be comedy, kind of dumb, but we listened to it so much and made fun of it so much that we kind of love it. Like a Stockholm syndrome of. And one of the lines was, the guy said something like, she makes me jizz. So I'm like, she makes me jizz. And then that's fed, all those things fed together. And then with Fred Schneider, now it's a B-52 song. I want you to walk to the door. I want you to lay on the floor, 'cause tonight's the night. And she makes me jizz. So the line from this other band, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. All these, the voices and phrases feeding this one eternal demon that's there. You know what I mean? I'm saying, yeah, Fred Schneider, all these things Jello Biafra said, and in Dead Kennedy songs and Lard songs, whatever, and his lecture that I saw at Cal State, and then Fred Schneider from B-52s, JG. I'm saying this because I'm trying to, when I get caught doing a voice, when, that sounds like I'm making fun of Neil Ewing. I was trying to explain like the phenomenon of how voices and phrases from different people kind of blend together into its own entity, eternal entity. And then you forget where it started from. And so there is this, that's one of the yokai that floats above me. It encompasses Jello Biafra, Fred Schneider, and I guess Rip Taylor, or Rip Torn. I mix up Rip Taylor and Rip Torn. I don't know which. And then whenever I heard the word jizz or jazz, I'll go, jizz, in that voice. Don't know why. Jazz! Is this jazz? So I guess that's the theme of the whole stream here. The theme of the stream, Erwin called me out earlier for being that I interpreted as you telling me I'm obsessed with this topic and I won't shut up about it. And then here we are. I got dragged back into it. Thought I was done, but I wasn't. It makes me feel kind of funny. Kind of back up in the chat a little bit. JG, if you're there. Yeah, Dark Crystal. So I was young enough to where it came out. I don't think I saw it in the theater, but it played a lot on cable. I was old enough to have seen it in the theater, but yeah, I hate you, Scowfling. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember that line because I think, but mostly because of my friend Glenn would repeat that line. But the art is Brian Froud, right? I think my wife has a couple art books and cool art, but I didn't own any of the books myself or go deep into it. Erwin, I didn't go deep into it, but I appreciate it. You know, like I know what the Pressed Fairy book is because someone who had that book and thought it was a pretty good concept for an art book. So when I'm inking this stuff, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I'm of the age and where I never made enough money on of art where I would think other people would become an art teacher and actually earn some money, you know. But I don't think I know what I'm doing here. I still feel like I'm faking it along. Everything I'm doing here, I couldn't articulate on how I'm doing it or why. And I'm saying I appreciate how Erwin, you seem to be able to do that, continue to be educated and articulate on how and why you do some things. Not everything. I'm not saying, you know, there's still some weird ass shit you do. What the fuck? Especially when you make those, when you do the symmetrical characters and their feet are all like curled up. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, what the? I wonder how you would explain such a, you know, doing something like that. But I mean, if you had to teach, if you had to like, I got to get a teaching job, like, you know, like there's a lot of people, you know, I can't do it. I'm too anxious and going too many tangents. My thoughts aren't clear enough, and I don't have the confidence to do it. Otherwise, you know, being my age, you know, it's like getting like a art teaching job, some kind of thing would be a smart move for me. But I can't. I don't think I have the skill sets to do that. To, you know, people don't really have confidence in me, and I'm anxious. So I'm saying, like, when my stream here, the way I'm inking this stuff, I couldn't say like articulate what I'm doing in any kind of educational way because I feel like I'm just kind of like doing it and hope, like putting marks down, like, God, I hope this looks good. Fuck. Without any real confidence. Like, I don't think it's all terrible, but does that make any sense what I'm saying? But I feel like when I watch your stream, everyone, you are on a continuing educational. You seem to be truly diligently studying the craft, and you're able to, like, I feel like your stream is more educational than I feel like mine could be. So, like, I'm kind of randomly doing these hair strokes, and I'm hoping it doesn't look like shit. I'm hoping I can randomize this enough to look natural, but every stroke I make doesn't seem to be quite what my brain is telling my hand to do. Anyway. But trying to enjoy making art more now. I better take a break here. Not a break, but
That's code for going pee. That's code for going pee. Take a break to go pee.
that's flattering. Yeah. I have to pee a lot. Maybe I have some kind of condition, but I'm also drinking a diuretic in a Belgian tulip glass.
Something that's considered a diuretic.
Listen, people, my legions of viewers. When Irwin, when I walked in that video, the famous video that everybody's seen on Pulp Fiction's story on Instagram, and said, BobKurthy did this page. Oh, there he is. He just took the biggest dump of his life. I swear to God, guys, even though I acted kind of, yeah, I'm a little nervous here in my hat. I look like I came from that back room with that bathroom back there. I swear to God, I didn't shut up that bathroom. I swear to God. I swear to God. And it haunts me. On the street, people stop me and like people yell that out. It's the guy that took a dump.
That's the guy who took a big dump. I know he did, because Erwin Papa told me on a Instagram story.
All right, I'll be back. I gotta pee. I'm consuming diuretics. Sketch of me in the Be Right Back by T.Wei, used without permission. Scratch and look at his view. Scratch. Actually, this is air. This is actually just air here. I don't fill out these trousers. I want like this. Whoa! Okay, I'm kind of back. Legions.
My legions of fans! Let me backstage!
When you're streaming, like, do you have like a relatively nice camera, or is it just some kind of webcam, or what? Maybe off. Maybe I don't know. If you feel, I mean,
Trade secrets revealed! Trade secrets revealed! You know,
I know. I mean, if you give me your secrets, I might run with it. My legions of fans, your legions of fans might jump ship if I buy the same kind of camera you have. And I probably am not going to buy a camera. Oh, look at that. Ooh. I was putzing around a lot trying to get started. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah. Canvas is the brand, and these arms lamps with round light, and it's got a MagSafe thing. Just mount my phone on, and I used a Video Ninja through that. But I would like to have my phone free during the stream. But maybe it's best this way. There's already too many gaps between me drawing, right, Erwin? It's like, shut up and play your guitar. Shut up and draw. And if I had access to my phone, then I'd probably just be checking it every 3.5 minutes. Shut up and let me draw, or shut up and draw. You're drawing now too, right? That's gonna be me in a nightmare of indecision, and it will not be educational to other people. Just me being frustrated and indecision about coloring. It won't be inspirational to anyone else. Be kind of embarrassing, and that I am confident about, you know. What if I did this? Ooh. All right. See, I want it to be big and bold. The brave and boldy. The brave and boldy. See, that was another combination of voices and things right there. That deadline really put a fire under my ass. And it was like he extended the deadline because of the wildfires. And I was about to say, oh, well, the original deadline, I want to. Can you hear my wife blowing snot?
Sorry.
It's so hot. It's so hot. All right, this is how stupid I am. My son is in the room behind my green screen barrier behind me. He snuck in.
Oh!
It just like, I want to make my presence felt. What? I'm on YouTube, dude. I'm gonna make my presence felt. I'm ripped a big ass fart. All right, Jane, be good. I'm on YouTube, and I have a legion of fans.
Really?
Yeah, Lasagna Cat's not even on here, or Garf. See, I told you there's yokai hanging over my shoulders all the time. That's one of them. That was one of them. But seriously, Jane, be good. Be good. I'm doing a serious educational art stream here.
What is that? I don't want to know.
Erwin just got excited because he's a sculptor.
He's a sculptor. He makes toys.
I'm supposed to be drawing. This is emphasis on drawing here.
What is that?
You like space rock? I don't know who this is, but it's not Hawkwind, but it's got some space rock on it. My son is off.
You should be in bed. Every other 12-year-old behaves themselves and goes to bed by 9:30 p.m. Pacific. Oh.
That sounds like Hawkwind right there. Listen. Not that. Wait, shh, quiet. I gotta hear what he says. Wait, I gotta listen to Tom. See that ending? This is definitely Hawkwind. My son was off camera dancing wildly to that. It's the ending of that space rock. And don't ask if Lemmy was in it, because this would definitely be a post-Lemmy situation. Jason, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll see you Thursday. Hopefully you're going to be there live and in person.
Live in poison.
See, that's another one of those voices up there that I have floating around. Katina, Jason Lego has said, hope you feel better.
Live and in poison. I'm in poison now. Cece DeVille. Ricky Rocket.
What's the singer's name? I was drinking his Snapple for a while.
Brett's. Was it Brett's Jizz? I think it was called Brett's Jizz. If your diet, it's made for diabetics. It's called Brett's Jizz.
What was that Snapple called that Brett something from Poison? I gotta pee again. Does anybody have a... Oh, I just made that. Speaking of thickening the stream, fucking Hawkwind, dude. But I made a reference to Hawkwind earlier. Oh! Yeah, this is Hawkwind. So this is the band that Jello Biafra was trying to get backstage.
Have the stars come out yet?
He was trying to get to these guys, but in like 2007. So the guy that's singing right now is like 78 years old, trying to relax after a 2-hour ripping space rock show. Psychedelic warlords disappear into smoke. Isn't that the song? Psychedelic warlords, in parentheses, disappear into smoke. I'm 78 and I'm playing this shit. And I just want to chill, catch my breath, and smoke a joint while I'm catching my breath. And fucking Jello be after. Have the can I get back there to see the rock stars? Why are they too uptight? They think they're so big they can't come out and talk to me, Jello Biafra. I gotta pee again. Does anybody have a Gatorade bottle or like a Mickey's Big Mouth? Then I'm gonna have to take a break. And the Tombow, pretty much. This I did with either this Delightful Beauty. No, I might even did it with this. I hate these because you gotta squeeze them and shake them, and when they go dry, it's like drying. It's the same thing. I mean, if I want to do dry brush effects, that's cool, but I rarely want to do that. I appreciate them. They're cool when it's intentional, but I generally want nice, clean, inky dinky parlez-vous. In summary, I prefer inky dinky parlez-vous over dry as a general rule. So with that, be right back. In search of space. You can't say the R word on you. I didn't say that. Did I say? Oh, I said. Oh God, no. Oh, I said dry anal. Dry is okay. Anal, and then I said the grapes of wrath. That R word. I was thinking of a different R word. I was thinking of a completely different R word. Yeah, here I was. I'm thinking of being so funny and saying the most. Yeah, comparing the most heinous. I got a lot to learn. Well, the music playing, it's my prog show, but they're playing an extended set of the band Hawkwind, the original space rock band Hawkwind. That Jello Biafra was like, let me back in there to talk to them first because I'm Jello Biafra. Even though I publicly made fun of Prague and said, famously in that video where I said, Rick Wakeman, eat your heart out, because I was making fun of the keyboard player from Yes, who's a prog rock god and icon. Can you just forget that I did that and just let me into the backstage at the Progressive Rock Festival? I didn't mean it. But yeah, it was a very special thing to be able to go to the Northeast Art Rock. Your comment here, it says Ramones, and then the next line says you can't say the R word on YouTube. Like, is the R word Ramones? Okay, can I pick my nose? I feed it to myself. Let's ocken all now with the Amones. Do 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 do. You're old enough to remember Rodney on the Rock, and old enough to I probably have listened to Loveline and hated Dr. Drew, or because you're a drug addict. And he's always trying to get you sober. I know. I understand. There was another show on K-Rock called Reggae Revolution. Styly. See this arm under here? I don't even understand my drawing here. Oh, this is a branch. All right. I think this is his arm here. This is bicep.
That was a rival in Utopia. That live concert piece. Prior to that, we heard the track.
Oh.
One of my all-time favorites, psychedelic warlords.
Part of my fear in going trad.
Dave Brock is still killing it. These guys don't F around. I mean, did Hawkman ever really F around? But
He's talking about Dave Brock. He was there. I was there at Nearfest. Dave Brock was like late 70s. Ripping. Okay, look at this. This is my next page. Okay, I gotta ink this. Kind of hope this shit makes sense when I ink it. But this central image. Oh my God, you guys, I gotta go. I gotta take a break.
Then he goes to Birmingham.
I'll be right back. I'll make it quick.
Manchester, Sheffield, Cambridge,
No.
and then London.
But seriously.
Save the date.
Okay, so all this hair,
Hawkwind.com.
the white hair, but there's space between the hair.
This was posted back on September 30th, 2024.
And between the hair, you can see this is Colossus. He's standing behind Wind Rider.
They're also on Twitter,
Her arms are out.
HQ, Instagram,
So we've got her hair flying around in the wind that she's created. And underneath that, okay, there's certain elements of her costume and her back. But then there's Colossus's strong arms holding her around the waist, like, you know, this is an embrace and a dance. This is unclear here. Now I'm going to have to go look at an older version of my digital file to where I drew this hand, because I got in this version, there's the final file where you get rid of the stuff you don't need and you flatten layers on it to print out to do a blue line. I'm going to have to go back and look at the digital file. Where is this hand? I mean, look at this.
Now home to the
This
Clash
is
Archives live on Saturday night at 10 p.m.
his
Eastern, with replays
upper
on Sunday
arm
night at 6 p.m. Eastern, and Thursday morning at
with
7 a.m.
chrome
Eastern.
musculature
House of Pod
and
Radio, the official
chrome
station of the
rendering,
Podstock Festival.
and then her hair blowing over it, and what part of it is white and what part of it is see-through and just
we are all
light
healed,
line art.
born, living, dying.
There's some of his hand there. So drawing the chrome treated arms behind the hair, what's going to be colored solid white and what's
what they call supreme enlightenment.
that's why I wish I was just doing it digital, dude. I want to cry right now.
Since they were 16-year-olds,
A whole lot of
1970s,
smearing.
Radio Massacre International in '93. After over 30 plus years together as a band and over 40 albums, maybe more.
See, now this is flowing
no surprises left, but like their undulating flow,
like I want.
musicians are always finding new twists.
But these kind of
Released
Kuretake pens with the squeeze. Squeeze your mummy. You have to shake it and squeeze it to get ink down in here. They always go dry anal, Danforth and Pape. I think Mike Allred said, no, this is the good version. I've given up on these pens. If I'm doing dry brush, I'm doing dry brush. But everything else, I want a succulent nightingale, solid, inky, dinky parlez-vous line. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I say that out of I wasn't like, yeah, man, I got the rhythm in my soul, man. They just couldn't stop me from just, you know. So same thing with drawing. It's not, oh, I have to draw all the time. Well, no, I like to have some project to work on, and then I'll put my energy into it. I'm not a compulsive drawer, but I would be better if I was. But they're like, they have that confidence. But if that confidence represents their drive and how often and hard they work on this stuff, well, they will be great in time. You know, they will pass you up. They will pass me up. You know, and, if I don't think their work's good right now, they will very soon be passing me up. Top level quality of inking versus bottom. To me, it's the same. Belgian. The joke was my stream last night I was just drinking tea, and then tonight I'm drinking the Prankster Belgian style golden ale. And is there a difference or a significant drop off in quality? I think it's the same. Radio Massacre International. I saw them live improvising at Nearfest 2008. No, to fix that, I'm gonna go pee again. Concurrent viewers 1. That means Erwin, you're the only loser watching this loser. What's wrong with you? 44 views. I'm looking in YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio. One concurrent viewer, so it's just you and me. Face off. Chat rate 0. You haven't said anything of consequence. There's a guy that I tried to push on you guys, an amazing artist, and he lived in Long Beach for a long time, and he was doing live streaming and like, come hang out with me on live, and I wasn't ready for it yet, and I didn't quite understand it. And then a few years later, like he moved to like Berlin, and then I discovered kind of this group and streaming, and like, oh, this is something I can actually do. Trevor Claxton, this guy's name. Fucking amazing. Or he works for video game companies, does concept art and all this. You know, I'm years behind what he was doing. Smeared ink all over the place. Ooh, 45 views. Somebody dipped in. Looking for. But these are pretty freaking good for what they are. Because all the other ones that I've used, you have to shake them, and then you have to shoot, shoot, shoot. You push the tip against paper like a button, and then it goes, and it jizz. There's a white ink jizz splatter. Bukkake. It'd be nice to just grab a utensil and draw white ink that covers everything under it as smoothly as if you were using this or this. Imagine this if it was just white ink and it came out exactly as solid and flowing as this. Why can't we do it in 2025?
With each member responding to the other's riffs and musical motifs. It doesn't hurt any either that Houghton was very impressive on his guitar chops. So when he eases into the mix with some blistering Stratocaster bursts, he rather convincingly updates and improves upon RadioKing.com. Radio King's mission statement is simple, and it is right to the point to allow everyone to make their voice heard by offering a simple and powerful tool that makes radio easy and accessible to everyone. Well said, right? Well, now you can listen to the Gagner Archives 24.
What about that? Would that really, I don't think that should be allowed. I think every artist's page, they have to do everything on it. They can't get assistance. In this project, no assistance but maybe another project in the future. Such a thing could be considered, but
with his right hand as well,
lettering.
expressing himself and to deal with
I mean, with the page art.
He became his presidential collection shortly after John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963. He finished the collection in 85 at the beginning with a portrait of George Washington. He will be on hand to break his first time.
I know I didn't complete that thought. Sorry. This is he's flashback to an old show when he was on terrestrial radio, on a college radio. Coast Guard could be a career for you, you aimless fuck up, yeah. Make your mama proud now. You still might be able to kill somebody like a pirate or something, yeah.
This means that BCC's credits are credible and accepted by schools around the state and country. To assist students who wish to pursue four-year degrees, BCC has developed special dual admissions and transfer agreement programs with other colleges and universities. More information, please call 609-894-4900.
Yeah, I totally forgot I was talking about something about color. Oh, yeah.
Weather forecast for South Jersey and Burlington County.
Yeah, would not want to.
Sunday will be mostly sunny.
There's enough to deal with in this project without going, hey, do you think if I colored his page and he lettered mine, would that be cool? And like, I think that's like, okay, now we're dealing with that.
I thought that it would be a little too confusing for my regular customer base, so I set up
Oh,
a separate
mate.
label, and it's marked with
You going to bed, Sweet Pea? Because it's bloody late.
Different style of music, but it's still at its core has,
I am live streaming still. Okay, guys.
Yes, we featured Wuthering Heights back in December, but this is a world premiere tonight, so first time I'm thinking.
Yeah, my son's awake at 1:36. That's how shitty of a parent I am. Boy! It's 9:30. Go to bed.
Yes, sir, Daddy.
Really a broad range to give everybody a little taste of different styles.
What's in your mouth, fool?
All
All right, back to the super important crap I was yammering about. I'll remember when it's too late.
And I'd like to thank all the emails we received last Saturday night, which was overwhelming for the mastermind interview. Once again, a big thanks on that. If you're online tonight, I'd like you to type this one in, www.lasercd.com. That's
They're playing an archived flashback kind of episode right now.
4 good releases. It's been a long fun.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but it was. I remember that. That was when I first met you. Also, friends, you can contact him by the snail mail at P.O. Box. That's in care of the Laser's Edge at P.O. Box 388, Voorhees, New Jersey, 08043. So we're going to check out some new music.
I was going to go pee, I know that. Maybe that was the real important thing that I was forgetting.
Right, okay. So let's talk about it.
We're going to play Zen, right?
Right.
Zen is an Italian.
I thought there was something relevant. Actually relevant, I was going to say.
So I think instead of playing
Eric Rivera did a comic called Prague Dinos, and I had trouble reading it later when I got home. I'm like, does this really say what I think it is? Prague? Like, because this is all about music. He was quoting Rush. He really did mean Prague, progressive rock, dinos, dinosaur, which is significant because if you're a fan of progressive rock, you've heard the criticism, oh, fucking dinosaurs. Pigsley already made an appearance.
I don't care.
Part 2. Hi, Pigsley. Don't make her scratch
I'm
my.
gonna give it to you.
Don't make her scratch my nutsack again, like you.
It's gonna go over.
What? Okay.
Over you.
Oh no, she's gonna claw the shit out of me because you're gonna drop her short. She's not all the way over. She's gonna fall off.
Kitty, go, kitty.
She doesn't want to though.
Go. Go. They're just chilling.
I can't move though because I don't want it because she'll claw the S out of me. Seriously.
Shadow Gallery, Ice Age, Dolly's Delight.
All right.
What was
Okay, get to sweet. My favorite. The prettiest of Pigsleys.
As many of you know, especially those that have been listening to us since August of 90, David Lynch's Twin Peaks was a huge in some of
I'm on
his
live stream. I'm saying really important stuff. My legions of fans are hanging on my every word. Oh wait, there's only one viewer who doesn't care that much. Don't mess with the fantasy quality.
This is
Ooh,
food.
what is? I don't want. Oh,
This is cake.
that's a lot of food coloring, chemically.
Watch.
Pretty much the very last name in the credits on this review. And that's pretty cool, right? So imagine. You can imagine, Erwin, like if you listen to the World Record podcast, and at the end, special thanks to and Erwin Papa, like, you know what I mean? And it took many years before I did. I was like, I need to submit some artwork for this radio show. They don't have like, it took a lot of years, and then finally I did. The song is called Spectral Mornings by Steve Hackett, who was the guitarist of Genesis from 1971 to 1977. And he's the only member of Genesis still touring and putting out new albums. every year and touring every year and still playing the old progressive rock Genesis songs. Well, do you have any ends? All right, everyone. Mark has had some big life changes, which I understand because I am a parent. I'm wondering what regular contact with him and what would be you think would be the next thing that he would be able to complete, like the next thing that might come out. Would it be Vial 2? The thing that he was proposing for Soba? Would it be this book with Eric Rivera? Would it be this cat book? That would, I mean, he had pitched a
This was a lost satellite production in
book
cooperation with
kind of based on
Studios, Asylum Studios, and Wacky Jexter Productions.
something to do with a cat, I'll just say.
Sit, Louis, sit.
Good kitty.
I went out with a cow.
I hate that head guy. God damn, that's fucking. This is how we pay tribute. Time to stop streaming. I was just thinking about I should stop streaming. I'm getting tired. This is the mark that made me realize I should quit streaming now. It's 2:21. I should quit drawing now. This is the mark. This is a specific mark right here where I'm like, okay, time to stop. This right here. Time to go. All right.